Hey beloved, it's your sister here, Priscilla. I know life is full and busy, so the fact that you're spending some of your time here means the world to me. I'm excited, I'm grateful, and I don't take it lightly. My heart is to make every episode you spend here absolutely worth it. Now, we've been recording all year to get ready for this launch, so if you hear some references from past months, just know it's all in preparation to bring you fresh encouragement every week. You'll hear episodes with my amazing sister Christy, inspiring guest interviews, and deep dives into God's Word and the everyday together. I'm so glad you're here, so let's go. This is just the beginning.
We are so strong.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode.
Do you want to look at the camera?
Nah. Hi.
Welcome back to another Soul Strong episode. We're getting some episodes under our belt.
We are.
Which is really exciting.
Yeah.
And today's a good one.
I'm excited for today.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about something that I feel like doesn't get talked about as much when it comes to all things babies. And it is all about
pregnancy
and pregnancies
and the new motherhood and all of
motherhood
that
as well. And that is something that I think I only discovered it in my second pregnancy, which was the 4th trimester. So it'll be good. So good. But before we get into that, we're going to do some sister questions.
Do you want to spin first?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I always want to spin. Hunter wants to spin this and I'm like, it's for the podcast.
17. Oh, do you have any family secrets you can reveal now? That's pretty intense.
Family secrets.
Like something as a child that you did that you always kept a secret.
I'm not good at keeping secrets.
Like, yeah, you're not.
Myself.
Like one time I
other people's
stole
secrets. I'm a
like a
vault.
chocolate or a lolly.
Did you?
From somewhere, from like,
did you?
like a 7-Eleven. Yeah. I put it in my pocket.
I didn't do that. I think I did like silly things like but you know this, I feel like everyone knows this story. I got this like Christmas present and it was a microphone with a stand. And as soon as I got home from the Christmas party, I cut the cord because I was trying to make it a cordless.
This cord's holding me back.
That's what it felt like. It's like, I need to roam.
I need to be able to dance while I
perform,
sing.
I need to move around. And it never worked properly. It was always
yeah.
this is in the
That
90s.
sucks.
So, yeah. But that was not a secret. I didn't really have any, I don't know.
I feel like everyone knows my secrets now. 81.
What's the worst date you've ever been on?
I don't think I've been on a bad date.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really date. We weren't allowed to go on dates.
Too. Yeah.
We were not really allowed to. Yeah.
Did you have a bad date with Reggie though? Like when you were getting to know each other, or was just
No.
sunshine and rainbows?
No. I remember when our very first date, it was like raining a lot and we just weren't sure what we were going to do. And I kept making suggestions and I was like, it's chill. Like even if we just hang out and play cards or something, like, because it was like, it rains for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was like, no, I'll figure something out. Like, okay. So we went to the movies. We got there and the show times were not right for what we had to wait like an hour and a half or something. And we had all day. So it wasn't like time was an issue, but he felt really like, oh, I've stuffed it. Like, what are we going to do? But then we just went bowling and we had the best time bowling and then we had lunch and then we watched a movie.
Nice.
But yeah, no bad date. It was just
but
like,
then it recovered.
But I wasn't worried. I was just like, it's fine. Let's go hang out. Let's go for a walk. Like whatever.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, I should have looked at this beforehand. Like he was nervous that he looked like unorganized. I was like, it's all good. But yeah, no real bad dates.
My bad date was my first date with Zane.
Yeah.
It was like
this was
a train wreck.
But this was for you though. I mean, I think I probably would have been disappointed.
I was like, anyone would have been, yeah. It was just like
But you're like ultra, things need to be planned and organized.
Yeah. Well, we'd waited a long time. We'd already been dating for 6 months before we went on a first date, which I know sounds weird, but we were traveling all the time on tour and stuff. So we finally had our first date and nothing was organized. So, but apparently.
I remember you said you both got in the car. And
Yeah.
he said, so where are we going?
Where are we going? And he didn't even have his license at the time. So I was driving to our date.
Oh, I thought he was driving.
No, he didn't have a license.
Oh my gosh, that's probably why he was like, she's driving. She's going to pick the place.
And then like when we got there, he was like, so how are we paying for this? I was like, oh my gosh. Fail! It was like the worst. But then like it was like after we had eaten, it got better. And then we ended up having like such an awesome time. Yeah.
But that's also because you guys were both in ministry and stuff. So like money was a thing back then. It's not because he wasn't like prepared. It was like, that's how you guys
barely
lived.
had money.
How are we going to pay for things?
Yeah.
So
it was
for
always
him,
a
it was
bit like
kind
that.
of like, not even it was a no-brainer.
But it was like, where are we going? How are we going to pay for it? It was just like too many things in a row.
Especially when all your hopes and expectations are up here, like so high for your first date. And then,
well, it was just preparing him for what was to come, really, of our lives. I have high expectations. Okay, do you want to do one more?
Sure.
You
have to spin.
Okay. 73.
73. If you were a superhero, what would your powers be?
Yeah. I think like I would love the ability to like teleport.
Ooh.
Like get to places fast because then you could just be traveling all the time, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
Or flying.
Yeah,
like
that's
I'd be
cool.
so happy to fly as well. It doesn't have to be like an instant thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever want to read people's minds though.
No.
You know how people are like, "Ooh, be a mind reader." I'm like,
no, I don't want to know everything.
I don't want to know everything that people are thinking.
No.
And it's such an invasion of privacy too. It's like, so probably the flying aspect.
Yours is very practical, like for now. Mine is like, since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be Phoenix from X-Men. She can move things with her mind. She can do anything with her mind.
That's a good idea.
Like
that
she
would
can
help with like cleaning
she can
the house.
stop things and pick things up and create things and do and force fields and everything with her mind.
Who's Phoenix?
The redhead. Hugh Jackman's love interest from the original. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I always loved her power. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to do one more? You want to get into it?
Okay. Number 64.
64. Who's more likely to go viral on social media?
You.
You're not even on social media right now.
I'm not even on social. I've deactivated my account. I'm having a break.
Cool. And that leads us to the fourth trimester.
The podcast. Back to the podcast.
So I think one of the reasons why we wanted to talk about it was because there is so much prep and support, I think, as well. And like people are so invested in the journey when you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And it's like, because you see a little bump growing, you've got all the symptoms, the emotions, the hormones, and then you get to like you actually have the baby, and if you're lucky, you have the kind of support or community that will like give you food or come and clean your house or stuff like that. But then like it kind of just becomes just you and the baby.
Yeah.
Like it can.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm really interested in bringing like awareness to those situations of like, how do we do this better, like as a community?
Yeah.
And support our girls who are having babies within that fourth trimester.
And I think just normalizing what it really looks like, because I think it is so easy. And we do this, we've actually talked about comparison and Instagram and all of that in previous episodes in other topics.
Yeah.
But it happens in this as well.
Sure.
There is such a ideal of what you should be wearing, what kind of baby carrier you should have, the photos in the mirror with your baby and your cute matching outfits, and just this idea of life being perfect and being a mum that has it all under control. And that is the image that is really being spread on social media.
Yeah.
And that is just so unrealistic. Like, yes, you do have your moments where you put your baby in the cutest outfit. And yes, you have a day here and there where you got a great hair day and you take a selfie with your baby and it's super cute. I've had them. But the day-to-day is often a dirty sheet or a dirty shirt. It's a messy household. It's dishes that aren't done yet because you just can't get to it, because you don't have the time, or because mentally you can't do anything right now.
Yeah, just the capacity.
Just the capacity.
Sure.
So I think that's why I'm excited to talk about this. I think it's becoming a lot more normal, and a lot of women are starting to become more honest and open about what it's really like in the 4th trimester. And I love that. Like I had a friend the other day who posted on her social media, it's an angle of her on the rocker, like the rocking chair. And it's like baby wipes stacked in the corner. It's a messy change table.
Yeah.
It's her with mismatched socks.
Yeah.
You can see a vomit stain on her shirt and she's got her baby in her lap. And she's like, this is what my life looks like right now. I have the cute photos, but this is actually the rest of the house and this is the rest of my life. And she's like, it looks like sleepless nights. It looks like a change of medication because I have postpartum. It's a dirty shirt most of the day. It's this. And she just listed all the things. And I just said, I love this. And I just messaged her and encouraged her and prayed for her. And I just thought, this is incredible because what it does is not go, let's be real about what we're going. What it does is it helps other women to go, ooh, I'm not alone in this. And this is okay. This new normal that's a bit weird and a bit messy, it's okay for now. It's not forever, because I think sometimes that's what we need to hear.
Yeah.
It's not forever because we think it is forever.
Yeah.
But it's not, and you're not alone in it.
That's so good. I love it when people can be real.
Yeah.
Like even on
And
social
it's very
media as well.
brave.
Yeah.
It's very brave to be real.
It's real though.
Yeah.
Like,
it shouldn't be hard.
It shouldn't be hard. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Like why do we treat vulnerability as like a taboo issue or whatever? I particularly think that like, because I am a person that likes my house in a certain way. So it messes with my system when it's not like that. Like even now, before you came in, I was like, I had to apologize for the state of my house because I'm on catch up. My son is 9 months.
And I didn't even take notice. I was like, your house is so clean. It's great.
But my son is 9 months and we're still not sleeping through the night. So, which is very different to my first son. By this time we were like having awesome sleeps. And I think one of the biggest things in life, but particularly in that season, is that in the 4th trimester is sleep is so powerful that when you're not having it, you're actually operating at a dysfunction. Like your body hasn't had time to rejuvenate, to rest, to just replenish all your cells and emotional capacity and mental real estate and all of that kind of thing. So, and then on top of that, we are attending to the needs constantly, the need of
the demands.
Yeah. That's probably a better way to refer to it.
I think that puts more pressure on what we're tending to. It's not just, everyone's got needs, but it's like, it's a demand. Like you have to meet deadlines with feeding the baby and changing the baby and then cooking for your family or whatever it is.
And then I look at so many times I've looked at Maverick and I'm like, he literally cannot survive without me.
Yeah.
Like, and that doesn't make me feel awesome.
No.
That makes me feel very like aware of the responsibility. Like this child, the cries, the needs, like it's literally survival. Like it's life or death. How I'm going to respond to that. And there's this picture that I've seen in shopping centers. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the baby is on some sort of like a Moses.
I have seen it.
You have seen it?
I love that.
I love it so much.
So
let me explain
it and I was just like, oh, this is so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So let me explain if you haven't seen it. It's the baby is in like a Moses little cot
like
or something.
Like a dog-a-tot or something.
Yeah, just something simple and clearly in distress, like crying like crazy. And the mum is in the background and she's out of focus. And she's got she's literally on the floor with her knees up. And
like
she's
in the corner of the room.
Like in the corner.
Yeah.
And she looks like she's also in distress.
Yeah.
And it makes, and the line or the promotion is like, let's take care of or something. I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's something along the lines of let's take care of those, or do we have to watch out for newborn
like the
mums
unseen and
the unseen stuff. Yeah, as well.
In the aftermath. Yeah.
And I think there can be such a shame about it because it's supposed to be one of the most joyous times of your life.
Yeah.
And yet, and I guess I can only speak from my own experience, like I'm crying more than ever over nothing, just something like so slightly. And my recovery with the second child physically was a lot tougher than with the first. And so I went through a period where everything, and my midwife was like, well, you got the triple whammy with like the boobs and like the hoo-ha and the, what else was hurting me? It was something
Your
else.
back?
Was it my back? Oh no, my tummy, like my actual like the
like
cervix.
your abs and everything. Oh no, because you're cramping and uterus is shrinking.
The uterus, that was it. Yeah, not the cervix.
It hurts every time.
Oh my goodness,
it gets worse every time.
I know. It hurts so much. And I was just in so much physical pain as well as being physically tired just from like having given birth like a few days before. And there are so many times when you can say, this is the worst thing ever. Like, how do we go back again and again to have more babies?
I think that's something that you're saying, you said before, it's the most joyous time. And you're like, I'm crying more than ever. And we're also having thoughts that are so contradictory to the season you're supposed to be in.
Yeah.
And I had thoughts. I have close friends and family where I've had intimate conversations with them about the thoughts they had and how, you know, they've never admitted it to anyone. And like things like, and I'm just going to say things like, I yelled at the baby one time, or I wish I had my old life back. Like thoughts like that, you know, and no one was ever in danger. The child was never in danger in these scenarios, but you do have sometimes some very unnatural or very scary thoughts where you think, oh my gosh, I'm the worst. It's shameful to be thinking these things. And it's not actually a sign of your capability. It's not actually a sign of you as a mother. It's actually a response. It's a trauma response to your body going, I need help. You know, like I am not okay. I'm struggling. And so also, we're desperate. So we go to these unnatural thoughts.
Yeah, but also we're different.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's something really important to be aware of, that we aren't the same person. We're not the same person as before this baby. We're also not the same person before we ever had babies. Like that person doesn't exist anymore. And we either fight it and be like uncomfortable with it and we live in regret, or we accept that we're changing.
Yeah.
And that can be a hard pill to swallow because you've got so many things that you're navigating at the moment. And then you also have to navigate the fact that you are a different person, not just internally, but also externally.
Yeah.
Like
physically. There are so many battles. We've listed like 10 problems.
Oh my gosh. Like literally, I've been calling this my new body that I'm in.
Yeah.
And immediately when I say it in front of people that are mums, they're like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Like they don't even like go, oh yeah, I know. They'll just be like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Give yourself time.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, that's why I bring it up, because I'm like, I want to encourage that if you are like postpartum, like give yourself time.
Yeah.
It's up to like 2 years your body can take to really go back.
Like actually, it's a scientific fact that as a woman, you are not even close to being normal, back to your old self, for 2 years.
Yeah.
It takes 2 years for the hormones, for your ribs expand, your hips expand. That takes time to come back in. Like physically, so much happens. Emotionally, hormonally, so much happens. It takes 2 years. 2 years. And we're in like the 6-month mark going, I need to lose the weight. I need to get on a diet. And my life should be perfect. And it's like, slow down. You've got time. Like, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Do set your goals. If that's what you want, go for it.
Sure.
But give yourself that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like identity shifts that we talked about.
Yeah.
Like we are not the same person. I think another thing to highlight is that our relationship can change with our spouse.
Yeah.
So like you're going through this time and then your spouse is also, I don't know if this is too generalized, but they're the same person really. Like, they've become a father. Their
circumstances have changed.
Yeah.
Their environment has changed.
Yeah.
Their wife has changed.
Yeah, their wife has changed.
She used to be my wife. Now there's a beast I'm living in.
There's a dragon that comes out every so often. And just when that happens, I just run away.
But for them, hormonally, mentally, physically, or maybe not mentally, but physically, like in terms of their being, nothing has really changed other than, you know, their heart's grown a size because they love another child or a first child, and, you know, their environment has changed. But other than that, it's really the female, and not to diminish their part in it, and this is not about downplaying the guy, but the focus is that really the woman goes through this entire, it's almost like a 180.
Yeah.
Like you do this 180 overnight.
Yeah.
In a day, you spend a day in labor and then bam, you've got this new reality here. I think of Rachel in Friends when she's like, baby shower and they're like, what are you going to do with the baby when you got to change the diaper 10 times? Leave it on the change table? And they're like, and she has this awakening where she's like, I spent so much time reading about pregnancy and reading about babies. I have no idea what to do when the baby's here. And that part of it all, and I
the
think
baby's here forever.
Yeah.
So like the 9 months feels like forever, but it's not. It will pass, and then the baby's here forever.
And then there's things that I think it's coming out more and more, like mums who have experienced it for a first-time mum or for like baby shower gifts. You can tell the ones who have done it and the ones who haven't.
Yeah.
Because the ones who have done it, they're the ones who pack you like the ice packs for the pad, down for your hoo-ha. And they're the ones that pack you the nipple cream, and they buy you
the best
baby wipes, or they buy you some shapes and chocolates because they're like, when you're up feeding, you're going to get snacky and this is for a little treat. Those kind of gifts, you just go as a first-time mum, or even, as a second-time, you just think, I just don't think about that stuff. The kind of things I'm going to need physically for my body to heal and to recover, the types of clothing you need to wear, the breastfeeding bras, like all of that. When I had my first, I didn't even have a breastfeeding bra. I came home from the hospital wearing a normal bra, and for about a week I was just using a normal bra, and then it was like, oh no, they have contraptions that, so there's just a whole world that you're totally coming into.
So I'm glad you brought up breastfeeding, because it's something that I've wanted to talk about for years. So we are very different in like a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But when it comes to parenting, we've actually done things differently, but we've found the value in both of the ways that are done.
Yeah.
And
we've also both been highly supportive of each other's choices and not cared about doing it differently.
Yeah, totally. And so I always say that my boobs didn't work because I could not breastfeed both my sons. I tried. But you were like a factory. Like you were like ready to go, and it was awesome. Like I thought it was so cool that it worked for you. I think for me a little bit when we did go to the bottle, because Hunter was born really small. He was born a few weeks early. So every time I would try, and he was just crying because he was hungry.
Yeah.
And then the nurse would say, after trying and trying, then they'd be like, okay, well, let's just give him 10 mils of the bottle and then we'll try again the next feed, whatever. And so this went on for a couple of days. I know some women are champions. They try for like 6 weeks,
2 months.
2 months. They try. I was like done after like day 4 or 5 or something. It was like really short. And I was like, tapping out, where's the formula? But I felt really like, I felt like I'd failed for a long time because I couldn't make that work. And a part of me felt like, oh, breast is best and I can't do that. And I really did appreciate how you and the people around me were always like, it's fine. Like, and there was even some midwives who would say to me, he needs to eat. That's the priority, not at the moment. Like obviously there's times of that.
Which was the extra pressure for you as well, because he was born early. He was so small.
Yeah.
There was actually a pressure on, he needs to be putting on weight.
Yeah.
Like there was a medical, like that was your
like
directive
you can't leave
from
the
your
hospital
doctor.
Until
he needs to put on weight before he leaves.
Yeah.
And then when he leaves, he needs to be eating every 3 hours on the dot. Like it was very specific. So not only are you having a hard time, I remember it. He wasn't latching properly. The milk wasn't coming through properly. No. You also had like a 3-day labor. He was so little, his little mouth couldn't do it. Like I remember it all. And you had on top of all of that, he needs to eat. He needs to put on weight.
Yeah.
So there's this circus in your head going around. And I remember saying to you, throw it all out the window. Like, happy mum, happy baby. Like that is actually priority because he's not going to grow and he's not going to get healthy unless you're okay and able to do that for him.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's from you or from a bottle.
Yeah. Yeah. And then by the time my milk did come in, I had already mentally like clocked out. Like I was like, I can't do this. It was really painful, which it is painful. And women just grin and bear it like for months.
And
so
that's for me. Like some women, they breastfeed and they're like a factory and they're like, oh, it didn't even hurt. It's fine.
Oh, that's great.
Whereas for me, I breastfed both kids. I had lots of milk. Everything, latch was great, but it killed. Like it was so painful for like 6 weeks at least for Jensen, and then for Aviana, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But it was very painful.
Did you ever feel like when they were crying for a feed, did a part of you ever go, here
I
we
had
go
instant
again?
trauma.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I was like,
Yeah.
no. It's already been 2 hours. Are you kidding me? Like I was like with Jensen more so than with Avi. With Avi was easier. It was my second time.
Yeah.
My body did it a bit easier the second time. But with Jensen, I remember at a month,
Yeah.
I was like, I said to you, we're on holiday in Port Macquarie, and I said to you and Mum, I think I'm done. I think I'm going to give it up.
Yeah, I remember that.
And surprisingly, you and Mum were like, you've come so far. Just give it another week or another 2 or give it 1 more month.
Yeah.
I was so expecting Mum to be like, yay, okay, let's buy the formula, because we're all formula babies.
We grew up completely
Our whole family was
babies.
formula babies.
Yeah.
And, that means Mum can have him overnight and whatever.
That's right.
But you guys were like, no.
Because
you've come so far.
We knew how much you wanted to do it. So it was just a moment where you were like, I'm
weak.
about to give up.
Mentally, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was pumping a lot because I was in so much pain and I was dreading the next feed. And knowing I could feed him from a bottle, the breast milk instead of him latching was like, oh, thank God. And that's eventually what made me think, should I just give it up and try a formula? But yeah, so even someone like me, every journey is different. Someone who did breastfeed, that doesn't mean the journey was easy. I have a friend who she tried for 6 weeks. She gave it her darndest and she tried really hard, but then eventually, and she was the same. I feel like I failed. I know everyone's telling me you've got to give it a good shot, and I have been. And I was like, okay, you gave it a shot. Enough. Like that's okay. You can switch to formula. I'm a believer of breast milk and breast is best, whatever, but I'm also a believer of not putting labels on women that don't do it a certain way.
Sure. And I think we're at that stage in our society where we can accept there are multiple ways to get the same outcome, which is what, and I've heard like even from my husband, and I've heard from other dads, one in particular that said to me, it was my joy to be able to feed my own child. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's actually a really amazing way to look at it from the father's perspective, that they actually got to participate in that. And then his wife was like, oh, by the third, I took bottles to the hospital. Like I was like, the decision was already made. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'd probably do that. If I had a third, I probably wouldn't even try. I don't know. But I just think that whole happy baby, happy mum, happy baby, that actually applies in many, many respects. Like our child, and I suffered with anxiety a lot growing up, and I had like a full-on mental like breakdown about a decade ago. And I remember when I was pregnant with my first, and I knew that I was passing on DNA to this baby. And I just made such a mental decision that I was like, okay, this actually needs to stop with me. I can't just keep taking on the cares of the world and thinking that my kid isn't going to at some point realize that. And when I've seen other mums who are, like relaxed, and I'm not saying that you can't be high strung, but I am saying like we need to be careful. Like people with my personality and my character, like we cannot just be overthinking and essentially overstimulating our minds about every single little thing. Yeah. And then there's some of us who are worrying about things that are so far in the future. Yeah. It's like, just get through today. Like, don't even think about like, he could fall and break his leg one day. Yeah, he could, but today he's not even touching the ground. So like, we're okay. Like we can move on from that. I think the other thing, with my perspective on it was because our first son was born with limb differences, our levels of, I don't even know how to describe it, but like the way we were welcomed into parenthood was like highly anxious and highly stressful. Yeah. Like it wasn't like a take away the feeding and all of that aspect. Yeah. It was that our son was born with 3 fingers and 9 toes and missing digits, and that catapulted us into like this level of like again, going back to feeling like I'd failed my kid, I'd already felt like I failed him because I couldn't give him 10 fingers and 10 toes. And I think that there are lots of mothers who are like, it's almost like you're starting like, but you're starting at a disadvantage from the beginning. And I think that that's been, now he's 7. So we've had like 7 years of this journey. Now we're completely comfortable with it and we understand the journey. But when you're in that postpartum phase and we couldn't get they wouldn't see him until he was 6 weeks old at like the actual children's hospital, because they just have to be at that age for them to like assess them. So we spent those first 6 weeks wondering, is this neurological? And that was probably a bigger scare for us. And I remember our friend said to me, if it's just physical, you're fine. Like he'll be fine. No, it won't affect him at all. But because it was all on the left side of his body, that's where we were like, there was concern that there might be something else going on neurologically. And so I think I share this I just want to encourage like mums out there. If there are other things going on, I get it. And then this is just one scenario. There's like 47
it's so
bazillion
true.
scenarios that you walk into motherhood
I have
with.
friends where their kid was born and then they started having seizures 3 days later. Children are born and then all of a sudden they have heart problems. Like there's that. I think it's a very real part of it that we are talking about a fourth trimester that, that's if the baby's born under normal circumstances. What if it was this emergency Caesar? What if it was we nearly lost the baby? Or what if it's I've spent 6 weeks in NICU and I haven't had the choice to breastfeed because they had to feed him with a tube. Like
that's right.
There is so many versions of this where that is the reality and that's the entry point that they went into, which is it's sad, but it's the way it is.
Yeah.
And then you've got to deal with everything else that we're talking about. Yeah.
And I feel like we're very fortunate that we are in this country because we have all the support that we need. And that's what, I was still on the delivery bed. And, we just received the news about what our baby was born with. And I can't remember if she was a midwife or a doctor. She said.
She was a midwife.
Yeah. She was like,
because I remember seeing it and I said to Noreen, what's going on with his hand?
Yeah.
And then Noreen said to the midwife, he's got missing digits. So the midwife went, okay. And then came in and just showed it to you and everything like that.
No, not her. I'm just talking about there was someone that came in my when I was spiraling of like, what is this? And they were like, we live in a really good country and you're going to get everything you need. And that was so reassuring. That was like, oh, okay. And then going to the hospitals, because then, like I said, for the next 7 years, so I'm just going to readjust. Because my leg is getting sore. And then for like the next 7 years, we've been going to the children's hospital and we went there again earlier this week. And we had we do this thing called high five at the dinner table where we say like our high, low, our fail, because it's important to acknowledge where we failed, interesting, and then gratitude. And in my gratitude moment, I said, I'm actually really grateful that even though, and I turned to Hunter when I said this, even though there's been some tough things that we've gone through, we saw some of the other children and what they're going through. And then straight away he was like, some of them couldn't walk. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And he's like, some of them couldn't breathe because they had like breathing tubes coming out of their face. And then he was naming all the things that he saw. And I said, yeah. And my heart really goes out to families who are in like long-term health problems as well. And no one prepares you for that. Like no one says, like when you say, I'm pregnant, it's so exciting. And no one says, okay, and by the way, like you may be in hospital for the foreseeable future on and off. And that's just a really real reality that we face. But, because I don't want to just be like, oh, this is so hard. I have just seen the power of God so much in when I became a mother. I just thought, first of all, God has given us the ability to procreate. I think that's such a gift. And I feel like we get to see God in a different perspective because we get to see him as not just our father, but as a father of someone. And we get to relate in that respect. And I think that's so incredible that God gave us the gift of creating. I've just
he made
taken
us
my
in his
hat off to him.
image.
Yeah.
So we have to be able to procreate because he can.
That's
And we
right.
were made in his image. I
Yeah.
always think that. I'm like, he's literally just given us his ability.
Yeah.
Like his gift of making life. He's like, hey, you can have it too.
Yeah.
And you make life too.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's definitely challenging moments and you feel like you're pregnant for like 20 months and it just feels like every night we're still waking up in the middle of the night. We're still like, okay, like let's do this. And I'm not as young as what I was for my first. So I am feeling at this time. And so when people tell me they're tired and they have no kids, I'm like, it's really
must be nice.
Sorry, I don't mean to like judge, but I'm like, okay, did you sleep through the night for the last year? Like week or even week? I'll take week. Oh my goodness. No. Everyone's got their own.
I have a girlfriend at work. She's like single, no kids, nothing. And she always makes comments like that, but she'll always say, and I have no kids. Like she'll be the first one to say it. And we're all like, that must be nice.
I know. And then one night, Mum had Maverick. And I was like, yes, I'm going to sleep through the night. I was so excited. And then Hunter woke up in the middle of the night with growing pains. So I was like,
yeah. But that's so true though. If you're thinking about, a seasoned mum, someone who's done it once or twice, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times, every kid is different.
Yes.
So when you said before this 4th trimester for you was different to with Hunter, it's so true. Like with Jensen, my experience afterwards, like, I had the hormones and the breastfeeding was a pain and I had all of those things to get used to. But in terms of, the relationship I had with him and all of that, I was in like a love bubble. I was in this like magical world where the greatest gift of all of heaven, is mine, and this is true love and this is God and this is everything. And
he was our first.
And he was the first grandchild in our immediate family, the first of us having children. Yeah. So it was a special thing and it was great. And that added probably to the beauty and the magic and the excitement and all of that.
And we'd all be like fighting over
him. I'd wake up in the morning and he was gone. Like the bassinet was gone if I'd stay at Mum's house or you were over.
Yeah.
And then like I'd go back to sleep and then someone would wheel him in. Like, okay, he's hungry now. And then I'd feed him.
It was so awesome.
And the same happened with Av as well. But with Aviana, I just had a very different relationship with her. And that was part of my shame and part of my like, because having the second one, everyone's like, oh, you're a natural mom. Oh, and I was like, honey, I've got this, like we've got this in the bag sort of thing. And yes, the birth was beautiful. Her coming into the world was beautiful and exciting. It was all great. That was all the same, but she just had a different temperament to Jensen. She didn't feed to sleep the way Jensen did. She was more stubborn about her sleep and then became the next 6 to 2 month journey of sleep training and having a child that was not linking sleep cycles and was waking up and would sleep for 2 minutes, then wake up. And that for me became my like, I'm rocking her in the night crying, like she will not go to sleep, and Reggie coming in and taking her from me so I could just go cry in bed. It was I bought a watch. I don't wear watches. I'm not a person. I'm not that person.
Just like, you're making a statement just then.
I don't wear watches. I don't like to keep time.
No, you like to forget your life.
I bought a watch so that I could like time her naps so that when the minute mark came when I knew she'd wake up, I could shush pat her to sleep into the next. So I was training her to go into the next sleep cycle, like down to the littlest things. Reggie would come home and I'd spend the first 20 minutes telling him about every nap she had and how long it took. And then I got a 2-hour break and then this happened, but then she only did half an hour. That was like I was consumed by her ability to not sleep or sleep, and whether, she was kind of doing that right or if it was a bad day or if it was a good day, and from the front, everyone thought it was great. Yeah. And it was great. Truly. I had a beautiful little toddler. I had a beautiful little girl, and it really was beautiful and special, but I was dealing with this thing where sleep was just not going well for us, and it was affecting me and all of that. And I truly believe that it affected my relationship and my connection to her. Not that I didn't love her and not that I hated her. I know some women do experience things like that where they disconnect from their child. I wasn't in that place, but I can see where women end up there because of where I ended up. And it was just different, and I felt it. I knew it. It was like a fact in my head. I don't love her the way I love Jensen at this time. I don't want her. I don't have this magic bubble feeling that I had with Jensen, like I had with her. And I always think with Aviana, it was like I grew to love her. Yeah. Whereas with Jensen, love hit me straight away, you know? And now she's my girl, and, you know, it's great. It was maybe a few months. Yeah. I'm lucky. Some women go for a year or two, you know? It was a few months of hardship and it was fine. But that was the journey. It was totally different, just a totally different child. And I think that's every time you have another baby, it's different. It's a different time. Yeah. And we have some exciting news. I am currently carrying my third child.
I knew what it was and I was like, yes, I'm so excited.
I am 13 weeks pregnant. And I'm saying this because I'm like, here we go again. Yeah. Like, what child am I going to get now? What temperament are they going to have? And I feel like I'm a bit more ready this time. Like, if there's something tough with this kid.
You're ready that it could be different.
Yeah. You know, if it's something tough with this kid, okay, well, it'll be hard. Yeah. I'll be emotional. I'll be hormonal, but I will figure it out, you know. But with Avi, it was a shock. And it was hard to admit to people. It was hard to admit because I was you're a natural mum person. Yeah. And to admit, I can't get her to sleep or I'm struggling in this area. Like, and also I have to add this as well. It was also COVID.
I was about to ask.
It was lockdown.
COVID had, because
so it wasn't.
We couldn't even be around, and that's what was so hard. Yeah. And that's why there's actually so many moments in Avi's like newborn life that I don't remember because I wasn't there. Do you think that isolation like impacted all of this?
I think it was a factor. Yeah. I think it would have happened no matter what, given who she was and the way she was with her sleep and whatever. But it was something that, like, you know, there's an app called Marco Polo that we all use. And you can just send like videos to your friends and then they reply and all of that. I was on Marco Polo every day talking to a couple of my best friends, and they were talking about their own issues in terms of isolation and what we're going through with COVID. But I'm here crying on Marco Polo to my best friends who both at the time were not mums yet. Yeah. And just telling them about my child's sleep and how that was really affecting me and how she's not doing it. And I just don't know why as a mum, I thought I could do this. I don't know why it's not working. You know, like that was the broken record that was playing every single day. And I remember we'd sneak out once a week, like go to mum's house, and I would use the excuse, she's a secondary carer for my children. She's babysitting my kids.
She was.
And she was. It's not like we were lying. I was on maternity leave. It's not like I needed to go to work or anything. But we'd sneak out, and that's the way we could all see each other. And that was the way you guys could see Avi. But other than that, that's all I did for a few it was what, like a 6-week lockdown or something? I can't even remember if it was a month or.
No, it was like, more than like
we had a few
months.
Though. I feel like we had a one that was long, but then we had another one that went for 2 weeks, and then there was the really bad one.
Even being allowed in the delivery room was just such a gift because it wasn't supposed to be that at all.
And we got lucky because my doula had, you know, worked at the hospital. So there was that connection. I had a couple of cousins that I wanted to be there, that I like my sisters, and I couldn't because they were like, no, maxed out. You've got already 4 beings, including Jensen. Jensen was counted as the 4th person in the room.
If I didn't bring up what I was doing during that time, that photo that someone decided to highlight of me. But
where you were eating in my labor?
Okay. What the heck? Because we've been down this road before. You labor for hours, which is great because it means that you're like steadily on the journey. So I was like, well, I'm hungry. Like I just
Which
want
I didn't even care. They highlighted it and made a joke that you're eating while she's in pain. I was like, I don't care. I'm doing this for like a day.
Yeah, like it was
People
like a whole
need to
day. It was like
eat.
12 hours.
I even said to Reggie while I was in the bath, I was like, honey, go eat or go to the toilet or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I'm not leaving you. Like he was really good.
Well, he
but I
shouldn't
was
leave you.
like-
He's the husband.
But I was like, Prissy and Mum can take over for 5 minutes while you go, put a burger down or something. I didn't care. Because I ate in your labor when it was the early hours. I was like,
Did you? I didn't see you.
Also because Mum made me. She made me heat up pizza and everything for everyone that was there.
She did because she never eats in any like stressful situation.
But Mum doesn't stop. Martha doesn't stop ticking away.
Yeah,
she forced me to go. I didn't want to leave you.
When was this? The first one or the second one?
This was Hunter.
Oh yeah, is that when I screamed out for you?
Early? No. That was later. But early when the first trip to the hospital.
Oh, that was like 2 days before Hunter was born.
Shelly and
I was in labor
not
for so
Nelly.
long.
Sorry, Shelly and Sade were there. Our auntie and our cousin.
Yeah.
And we're all Nana's there. We're all there. And so Mum's like, I've got an esky full of food. Go warm it up. And I was so annoyed at her because like, I do not want to leave this labor right now. But she forced me as I went. And so eventually I had a piece of pizza.
I wish someone would have said, don't worry, she's not actually giving birth for another 48 hours.
10 years before this baby comes out.
It was such a long labor. But anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's like wrap this up with a couple of things that might just help with like speaking up.
Yeah.
So if there's like things like finding safe people, setting boundaries, what are the sort of conversations that we could be having, even pre-birth, like. But if you've had the baby already and you're in the thick of this and this might be totally resonating with you, still have the conversations. Yeah. But there were some things I remember with my second that there were some things that I talked to you guys about that I don't want this and I don't want that in my labor.
Yeah.
Like during my labor, like these are some things that I remembered from last time that I just didn't like and I didn't want it to happen again. And then there were some things that I felt like, and I don't necessarily think this was a good thing, but I felt like I needed to go back to my own home and do this by myself with my husband. And I totally respect that. That's for some women, that's what they need and they love it. But if there is someone that is offering to help, or I had a couple of really close, like some of my close girls come and spend some time in my home for a little while and like help me with the night shift and make food and all that. And I just really appreciated that. And I know that's not necessarily the norm, especially because my friends are all mums now. So they have to leave their children to come and help me with mine.
Yeah.
And it can feel a little bit like, oh my goodness, I'm such an inconvenience. But I think like take the season for what it is. It's just a season. And if someone's offering help, take it.
Oh my gosh, take it. I think that's something. Something
has changed.
I think that's something this time round, because I get hyperemesis when I'm pregnant in my first trimester and it's really bad. And I like my husband is basically like a single dad for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And, you know, with Aviana, he had Jensen. So it was just one kid. It was a lot easier. This time he had 2 children and we both had full-time jobs.
Next time it's going to be 3.
We have a bigger house now. We've moved. So there was a lot more to it.
Yeah.
And I just noticed the difference from last time to this time, where I think last time we were both like, no, it's okay. Even him, he was like, no, I've got it. I can do it. I should be the one taking care of you. People shouldn't have to be coming to clean our home or feed us or whatever. But this time around, we were like, you would bring us meals once a week. Or I had a cousin who said, pick a day, I'm coming and I'm going to do your laundry. Like I'm going to fold everything, because I had a pile of clean clothes. Everything was getting washed and dried, but nothing was getting put away.
Yeah.
And this time I've just been like, yes, yes, yes to all the help, because you need a village. And I think if that's anything that you can take away from this episode is you do need help, and it is so okay. There is nothing shameful, because you do. Even this time I felt a little bit like a failure accepting okay, can you come on Thursday and I have laundry and I've got dishes, and you with the food and everything. Just, yes, please. Even my husband, great, Prissy, thank you,
Yeah.
Just be comfortable with saying yes to help. Be comfortable with embracing the village, because when your baby is born and then when they're a toddler and then when they're a kid, you need the village. It takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
So start embracing the village while you're pregnant and then once you've had the baby.
Yeah.
And on the flip side as well, be there for the woman as well.
I'm so glad you said that. Yes.
Don't just embrace the village, but be the village, whether it's a message, whether it's a phone call, a part of one of the actual, like you Google things about HG, and one of the top recommendations is emotionally support the woman who is going through hyperemesis, because it's a lonely island and she feels alone and she needs people to know that she's doing the same day every day for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And
just having friends going, how are you feeling today? And it was never different. It was always like, I'm dying.
Yeah, this sucks.
But just that was enough, So whether it's emotional support, if that's all you can give, like you said, sometimes you've got kids and you've got a full-time, you've got things on and you're busy, Whether it's meals, organizing a meal train, whether it's, I don't know, at the baby shower, make a meal train. You put it on a paper and just 1 meal a week at least. I don't know, just anything. Or even pay for a cleaner to come in for 2 hours. Just pay for a cleaner to come in. That's something that my mum has blessed me with. She's paid for a cleaner to come in a couple of times, and that's just been like saving grace.
Totally.
And
I think also, like, as the village, like, we can do better. Like, we can be aware of who are the young mums in our world who are, and it doesn't mean they have to bare their soul to us, because like they've probably got their people that they're talking to, but I just think like we can get so zoned into our own life and our own problems, and we're all carrying something pretty heavy. But like the whole purpose of the gospel is that it's about community. It's about other people. It's the reason why the early church absolutely exploded at the very beginning when the Holy Spirit came. It's because there was a body of believers there and they were sharing it with each other. There were people selling their homes to bring money into the spreading of the gospel. And I'm like, okay, whoa, that is humongous. Maybe that's too much, but I can cook a meal for someone. Or I'm cooking tuna pasta, which is how the whole thing started.
Yeah.
I cooked a tuna pasta meal and I had too much. And I was like, oh, I'll give this to Christy and Reggie. And then I was like, duh. So then that became like every week I'll cook extra of what I'm already cooking. And it's not like, I just think it's not hard, but it's something we have to be intentional to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to be intentional when you are so consumed by your own life sometimes, but it is something that we should choose to grow in as humans. It's something that I want to grow in. I want to be more aware of what people are going through and being there for them, because sometimes I just get so overwhelmed with my own life that I'm just trying to get through the day.
Totally.
And then 3 weeks goes past and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't even checked in on that person. I haven't, so it's so important. I think as well, one of the things I think is so important, and I think the image, the advertisement you were talking about before that you saw in the shops and everything.
Yeah.
I loved that, because I think it's just making women more aware that there is very easy access to free
services,
counseling services. Yeah. My best friend was, post 4th trimester and not coping and everything's tough and everything. And she called a hotline and it was free. And she probably, I don't know whether it was a half an hour conversation or an hour conversation. And she just said that one conversation changed my life. It just changed my whole perspective, changed my whole mind, everything, And sure, it didn't mean that the journey got easier, but it meant mentally she was stronger, and mentally she was told, you're okay, this is normal. Someone was just validating her feelings, and someone was just saying, this is normal. And that's sometimes all women need to hear. Or there's a silver lining.
Is like, it's
life-changing. Yeah. And so I think just know that there is so many, you literally just have to Google it in your phone.
Yeah.
Free online counseling services.
Beyond Blue.
postpartum,
Postpartum,
type those words in and you will get a 1-300 number or something.
Even if you
and
call
it's free.
000
Yeah.
and be like, when they say emergency, they can even guide you to
the right services. Yeah.
because it's just, we just don't want women to just keep on the pattern of being isolated and feeling like there is no hope or help. Sorry, there is help. But sometimes we need to take a step to like receive it and do a little bit of like research. Like if our kid has something wrong, like if they have a cough or a flu or a fever, immediately we're on Google. Like, what do we have to do?
Yeah.
So we need to get better at putting the oxygen mask on ourselves first, because that's actually the instructions on the plane is you got to put it on yourself first before you put it on your child. And we can do that. Yeah. And even if it's not right in the thick of it, like maybe it's like the next day and we're like, oh, okay, last night was a bit tricky. Is there something that I can do to like just prepare myself if it happens again? Because most likely
or
it
to
will.
just talk about what I've been feeling for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I've been crying a lot, or I've been feeling feelings towards my baby, or I've been not wanting to feed because it's hurting, like anything.
Yeah.
And you're reflecting on it, talk to someone about it.
Yeah.
If you want to talk with, a midwife, or if you're still getting checkups, or you want to talk to a friend or a mom or a best friend or anything, obviously do that. But for some women, they need something different.
Yeah.
And that's available.
Yeah. I started going to a sister's program at church, and it was like midweek, and we didn't talk about motherhood, and that's not actually what I needed. I just needed to surround myself with other women who just got it. Like they just saw that I had because I started when Maverick was like 5 weeks old, so he was like a tiny little possum. It was so cute. And like it was just so awesome because there was women that were like younger than me that were having kids, and there were women who were like, they were grandmas, and they were just coming around and saying things like, what's that saying, that the days are long but the years are short.
Yeah.
So enjoy these times.
Yeah, totally.
And then I watched this reel the other day, which was so like, but it was a lady was reading out a letter of.
I saw it.
Did you see
my
it?
Gosh. Yeah, it was so
she was
good.
a woman who was like an older woman.
Yeah.
And she woke up one day and she was a 38-year-old woman, which is my age. And just for that one day, she couldn't believe it. She said she looked in the mirror. She was younger. She looked at her husband, and her husband was so young and handsome and strong, and all her kids were running around her house. And she's like, now I don't have any kids in my house. Like it's just me. And she was like reliving that one day, but appreciating every single element of that day. And it was,
and she's
so
still
beautiful.
talking about there's mess on the floor, the dinners are sticky.
Yeah.
There's crumbs in the back of my car seat. The kids are fighting. Like she still says all the things. Like she still highlights the hard stuff and the messy stuff. But her focus is not on getting upset over the mess or getting upset over the chaos. It's like, my kids, they're my babies again. They're my babies again. Even when she said, and I got into bed and I called my mum to talk about how my day was. My mom, she's still alive. She's still here. I can still call her. I
hadn't heard that voice for a long time.
Yes.
And oh gosh, it's just things that you just kind of like.
And when she looks at herself in the mirror, she's like, "You're beautiful. You're so beautiful." Like she just is like, "Wow, you're actually amazing." And now all we can do is like think of the fine lines and think of our aging and think of all the flaws. But she's like, "You're gorgeous."
Yeah, for sure. I loved it. It just put it so into perspective of like enjoying these moments.
Slow it down.
Yeah, slow it down. And I guess at the end of the day, like reach out for help. That's probably what I would say. I think that I thought this in both of my labors, like millions of women have done this before. And that actually brought me great comfort because it meant that I'm not some anomaly. Like what I'm going through is not new. And every problem I've ever gone through is not a new problem. Like so many things have happened with other women, but don't discount that. Just because you're in it now, you wouldn't understand. It's like, well, maybe they would because they might have gone through stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
Anything else that you want to share before we...
Just feel like you can talk to people, but at the same time, what you're going through is normal. It's okay. It is different. That's not a lie in your head. It is different. Time will eventually bring about your new normal and your confidence in that space. Time will bring about a body you're happy with again. Maybe it's not the body you always had, but just a body you're happy with again. And time.
I was going to say, like, be proud of that body because that body produced life.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually at work and I was in the bathroom in the stall and I heard a woman in the mirror, like in washing her hands, going, "Oh, look at all these grays coming through. I need to go to the hairdresser." And an older lady said to her, "Oh, it's a privilege to be alive. Be happy with those grays." And she just walked out. I was like, what a perspective.
Yes.
Like she was just like, don't worry about the grays. It's a privilege to be alive. You know, it just means that you're healthy and you're still here.
Yeah. And your hair is growing.
Your hair is growing. You're not losing it. So yeah, I don't know. Be thankful for the things you can be when you have a moment to soak in the baby or soak in the cuddles.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a dirty nappy around the corner, but time will heal. Time will pass and you will find yourself again. Whatever version that is, you will find yourself again. Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. We're building the kind of space we've always wanted to be a part of. A community where women can feel and think and laugh and maybe even shed a few tears. This is where real life meets real faith, and shared lived experiences plus open hearts will remind us that hope is always within reach. Our prayer is that every time you press play, you'll walk away lighter and stronger and ready to step into everything God has for you. So thank you again for being here. You are stronger than you know. Sending love, peace, and a little sparkle. If you loved today's episode, we would love if you would share it with a friend and join us at soulstrong.com.au. Remember, we are better together.
I am, you are, we are so strong.